Okay, so we're gonna go address a spring job. This is because we want to make every spring job pretty much the same product every time.
Hi.
Hi, Kelly?
Yeah.
Christian with A1 Garage Doors.
Oh, you guys supposed to call me.
I did!
Liar. Did you really?
303-746-7915?
8915.
They have 7915. Who'd you talk to?
Some female.
Girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Older lady last night. Come on in.
Christian.
Kelly.
Oh, hi, puppy.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's evil.
you are so adorable. You're like a little gremlin.
Yeah, she's satanic. Hey,
Oh.
come home last night. I'm
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
garage. I heard this loud pop. Scared the hell out of me. It's Halloween. Thought it was the kids.
Yeah.
Come out here. Didn't think anything about it. Can you guys take a dog back with you when you leave? You can just
I
leave
love
her.
dogs, so if you're
I
serious.
used to love her. She doesn't.
Aww.
I went to open the garage. It opened up 4 inches.
Yeah.
Would close and come back up about 4 inches again, and that was it. That's when I noticed the spring.
Springs broke, yeah.
Scared the out of me. You're making a video, sorry.
That's okay. I can bleep it out.
So I wasn't sure. The motor was still working, so I know it wasn't the motor. But I tried to track and like look at everything else, and it all seems to be okay. It's just the spring.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little inspection. We'll take a look here.
And I've had this place for 10 years. I've lived in places longer where it never.
Never broke.
But if you notice out here, our garages are our front door. So I've
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry there's stuff in the way. I have
You're fine.
So you're stranded in here. You can't get out.
No. And
I found it.
So, well, I took that off because it was really moving really badly.
Okay.
So the pins I popped out myself. I could do some damage.
You could do some damage, yeah.
There are things in the house, but the garage door is the one thing that I don't know why I don't think about it.
Mechanically, this is as often as you use this door.
You'd think that I would have done that right.
It's something that I'm gonna educate you on to
Right.
to maintain yourself. Because if you can do it, I mean, it'll save you $100 a year.
That's cool.
And most people can, unless you have a wheelchair or a walker, you can do it.
Got it.
And you look like you're the type of able-bodied woman.
Yeah. I know you're funny. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Typically, when we replace springs, we replace them both because they tend to go in parity.
Yeah.
They were installed in parity, so
Even if you didn't, I was going to ask you to do it anyway.
good.
That makes sense.
Yes. Well, because
You pick
the
one and then
the other one's going to break, and yeah, we're going to come back out and charge you another labor charge. That doesn't make any sense. These springs I do have on the truck. They're 218s. I will measure them.
Scared the hell out of me.
Make sure.
I mean, it was weird. It's an ominous noise. And for Halloween. And then
Was it just yesterday it happened
yes! So I called
Aw.
like at 7:30 and I said, so happy Halloween. I'm here for 24 hours. So my garage door, let's talk about that. And she laughed and she said, well, if we send somebody out, it's an extra fee.
They come with a lifetime warranty. If they ever break, all you do is pay the labor to replace them.
Cool.
They're $109 a piece.
Got it? That's what she said. That's awesome.
$218. Labor, normally $149. There's a coupon for $69 off in the mailer this month. I have one in the truck.
Was there?
I'll put it towards it.
Cool.
That brings your labor to 80, excuse me. So we're looking at $298. We're in Aurora, which is, we pay state and RTD. You pay 3.5% on the 218. We don't tax on labor. That comes to $7.63 plus $10 fuel surcharge and $298. $315.63. I can be done in an hour and a half or less.
Cool. That's kind of what I thought. What do you need
If
from
you
me
will
other
just
than
sign
signature?
promissory note that when I am completed and you are happy, we are in agreement of 315.63. I'll go
Yeah.
get my stuff. I'm gonna have to move.
Can you open? What do you want to do? You can keep coming back in and out. I'm working from home today, so I'm good either way. You just have to fight with the dog.
I'm actually gonna, normally we charge $100 to free your car. I'm gonna free your car because I don't want to get near this thing. It's too pretty. Would you mind?
Yourself?
What's that?
You can move it if you want to.
No.
Don't be scared.
Our insurance, the garage door opener to help lift the door open with one spring. And what that's going to take is somebody's going to press a button, and at the same time, I'm going to lift the door to help it up. Because as one spring is broken, this still has half of the torsion system working. So we can get this door open in this $50,000 car out of my way.
Yeah.
So I don't want to work with that in there.
Yeah.
It's definitely building value for the customer as well as educating. There's companies out there that will charge more. This was a pre-quoted job over the phone. So it was a smaller spring. It's on the low end of the price at $300 to do the spring change. But I mean, it's obvious she hasn't had a lube and tune in years. And the door needs maintenance regularly, especially for somebody that uses it 2 or 3 times a day, open and closes it. So throwing her the $89 lube and tune charge as a freebie, taking a discount off of the labor charge because we have a coupon every month for that is a big deal to these customers. If they think they're saving $150, of course they're going to move forward, with a professional company. Okay, broken spring. Broken spring, 10 years is a good run. Most springs are rated for 10,000 to 15,000 cycles, meaning 10,000 to 15,000 up downs. And dependent upon how many times a day you open that, will give you a calculation of anywhere from 7 to 10 years. With replacing a spring, it is extremely dangerous. They are under extreme tension, and if you don't have the proper equipment, if you're not properly trained, you could lose a limb and go to the hospital very quickly. This is part of our guarantee that we are going to replace with quality parts to get you a professional job done, which is why we charge a little bit more than the one-man show doing it out of the back of his truck. But we have a relationship with the customer that we expect to last for years to come down the road. And if there's ever a problem, we're going to stand by our product and make it right. Okay, so torsion system on a garage door is moved by these springs, which are turned and torqued to unroll and roll back up. The set screws are located on the ends of these springs, and those plug in to the torsion tube. At the end of these torsion tubes, you'll notice these drums. They have grooves in them. The grooves are for these cables to roll up into. They spool up into them. These cables are attached at the bottom of the door here to these bottom fixtures. On the end, there's a nub there that the cable ties to. As the spring rolls this tube, it spools up the cables by the ends of the door, and it lifts the door up. And in turn, it helps it come down without crashing. All the garage door opener is responsible for doing is starting it in motion up and starting it in motion down. Now, inevitably, the springs are going to lose tensile strength. That just happens over time. That's why it's important to do annual maintenance. As they lose tensile strength, the door opener has to work harder. and it is actually going to pull the door open and it's going to keep it from slamming down. That's not good for the opener. Normal lifespan for an opener, if a door is properly maintained, is 15 to 20 years. If not, an opener could last as little as 5 years.
You can record yourself.
Just taking the 9/16 connector bolts apart. I typically just keep them right up here on the top strut, or if there's a ledge somewhere. Put them back together in case they fall, which they will. At least you don't lose them. Oh, dude. This is going to be too hard to get past. Oh, man. One way, or I can file this down and get it off of this side. Everything. If you see one of these orange labels, make sure you put it back on so an unassuming handyman or repair, do-it-yourselfer at least gets an opportunity to read this without injuring himself. So we're going to set the left drum. I was taught always left to right, which inside a garage is reverse because everything is labeled from the outside looking in. So right hand stuff goes on the left hand looking out of the garage. This is a right hand drum. So it is actually on the left hand side. We're going to tighten this down, hand tight, unlike the installer who impacted it so deep. I like to go about 3/4 turns past tight, just to make sure we're in. This is how to properly set the drum so that it doesn't pinch it. Now, what I do is I take the drum in my hand and I will pull it as hard as I can down. And you'll see the door kind of lift off the ground on the left-hand side. We don't want it to actually lift, but we just want it tight enough to where it's not flapping around. It's tight. So when we're setting the springs together in the center here, I like to make sure that the set bolts are facing out, so that way for each full turn, you know that you're still facing out. And to the back of the drum nice and snug, make sure you hit the first rail line. Now it's time to wind the springs. 32 turns, 32 quarter turns for an 8 high door, meaning 8 full turns. on the spring. So the cone at the end here has the end of the wire. And if you'll notice, it's pointing up. And at the end here, it's pointing down. Same for the opposite side. You want to make sure that the end of your left and your right are both pointing up because you want to wind it up. If you're winding it down, you're going the wrong way. Make sure the homeowner is not in the garage. You can explain to them whatever you want, but when parts start to come apart on a garage door, it's not pretty, and we don't want to endanger them. A properly balanced door should want to float about halfway open. It shouldn't want to fly open, and it shouldn't want to slam shut. Now, to do that, you disconnect your opener from the door. All you really have to do is pull the red handle, but since we did a spring change, it's set back. And so the door is properly tensioned, cables are tight. I'm going to lift it, and you just want to see where it's going to sit. It's about halfway. Shouldn't want to go flying open, and it shouldn't want to come slamming shut. It should just want to sit right there. Again, all the opener's job to do is to get it in motion. What I'm going to do is lubricate every moving piece of this door. The importance of that is to keep wear and tear at a minimum. It's metal on metal, so each time it opens, it really gets a nice scraping against metal. We recommend a Teflon or a silicone-based spray. Do not use WD-40. It tends to collect dirt and grime. Teflon or silicone is going to keep that out of the moving parts, which is pretty important when it comes to our front door here in Colorado. I'm going to hit all the hinges, the rollers inside. There should be bearings in your rollers. If there aren't, call us. We'll get you some that have them. Some of the cheaper doors are installed without them. You want to hit the spring. And we just finished our spring job. 20% of our jobs are spring jobs. It's where the new guys start out. It's still a dangerous job, but definitely less difficult than installing a new door. We have our springs here. We clean up after ourselves. Make sure that you leave no nuts and bolts laying around, especially screws. It is a garage where cars are parked. We do recycle. We eventually want to be green company. Get green certified. Next, we're going to go knock on the door, get the customer who's already signed the invoice for approval of work to pay the balance due. We're going to show her how the door runs balanced, educate her on how to maintain the door, and then after we completed payment, we're going to ask for a review. Good or bad, we're going to ask for it. If it's bad, I want to know about it. To get in front of a bad review hitting online. And if it's good, you get a bonus for it. So always ask for that review after you collect payment. Okay, Kelly. So spring change went great. Door, for what it is, it's in decent shape.
Okay.
It's been bonked and I can see some dings, but there's no tearing. So it's in relatively good shape. Well-balanced door is going to want to sit about halfway open. It's not going to want
move, right?
It's not going to want to fly up, and it's not going to want to slam down. When a door's spring starts to lose tensile strength, it'll just start creeping down, and the opener is going to get stressed by it.
Ah.
Can we turn on a light in here? It's going to get really dark when I close it. Thank you.
Sticker pouch cute. Look at that.
I put a sticker up,
Yeah,
so
look
if
at
there's
that.
ever any trouble, you know
got
who to
it.
call. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, here. Can I use the garage?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet.
So every 6 months to a year, depending upon how often do you use
A lot. So
A lot.
I'll be doing it every 6 months.
Okay,
I'm sure.
every 6 months, I want you to go to Home Depot, buy a lubricant for garage doors.
Okay.
Either silicone or Teflon based.
Silicone duct tape fixes everything. You know that? Got you.
You want to hit every moving part. Metal on metal
Yeah.
is
that.
how these move.
Okay.
So you want to hit every single hinge, every single roller.
Got it.
You want to spray across the springs there, just
Okay.
because friction will build.
No.
No.
Yes. If I
Yes.
move right there. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
That is grease. That's actually in pretty good shape right now, so I'm not going to mess with your opener.
Okay.
But other than that, everything seems great.
Right on.
Yeah.
So it was just old usage.
It was a spring. Yeah. It's 10. Would you get 10 years?
Yeah, I've been here 10 years.
That's a good run.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm knowing my parents have a house that's like 25 years old and their garage door just never did that.
Yeah. It's it really depends on how often it's used.
Oh, but maybe my daddy took care of it and we just didn't know.
That helps too.
Yeah, that's a possibility. All right, I got it.
Maintenance does help. But yeah, the springs are rated for 10 to 15,000 cycles. So that's 10 to 15,000 up and downs. You calculate that over,
How many
you know, once a day, that's 365
Oh yeah,
a
I'm
year.
like in and out of
you
here
go,
all the time. So
you go 10 years. I mean, you went over, you know, you did
So,
good.
Are you saying I got the usage out of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Check credit card.
Isn't it free day today? Didn't your coupon say free day today? Free day today? Yeah, I'll give you a check. Oh,
Great.
can you do a credit card?
We can do credit card. We prefer check, but
Oh, then I'll give you. Why don't you just tell me you prefer check?
we prefer check, Kelly.
Okay, give me one.
Thank you.